The government have been responding to the changes of an ageing workforce through removal of the default retirement age, increasing state pension age, automatic enrolment into pension schemes, and legislation against age discrimination. I visited the Houses of Parliament to explore a policymaker's view on how we can best respond to the changes of an ageing workforce.
I think, the principle that we're all going to need to work longer in the future is very widely accepted, and many people want to work longer. What I thought your interviews made very clear is the practical difficulties about delivering that and the pressures that employers impose or employers are under and job seekers in practice find in looking for work above the age of sometimes 50 or thereabouts. It has now been recognised in legislation that age discrimination is unacceptable. But, of course, the actual circumstances that arise are often very difficult to manage through a legislative tool. It's the culture that is the issue and the sort of assumptions that people have. And I was very interested by the interview you did with somebody working in marketing communications who sort of just took the view that beyond 35 you can't do that kind of job anymore. Now that can't be right, and I think employers are not going to be able to restrict so tightly to such a narrow age range as the one that we heard in that interview. So it's in the interests of employers as well as of everybody else to take advantage of the full range of skills and expertise that is available from people of all ages. So it's a culture change that I think we need.
Luke's story is representative of the younger managers we spoke to. How do you feel we can challenge these stereotypical views?
I would hope that the market reality is going to drive some change here as well, that there simply will not be in the future such a large proportion of young people available. I mean, that's an issue which is greater in many European countries than it is here. I was in Germany last week, and the number of young people coming to the labour market is going down now, and so the imperative there for employers to look at a more age diverse recruitment pool is a very big one. There are initiatives on the part of and involving people like CBI and business organisations recognising that there is a strong business case for age diverse recruitment practices, and I hope that sort of voluntary initiative will just help to shift the culture as well.
Is enough being done to encourage entrepreneurial activities such as those portrayed by Kevin and Anne's story?
Well, we are seeing a significant rise in self-employment at the moment. I think that's a positive development. I think the government's new enterprise allowance is helpful in that respect. I'm worried about some aspects of universal credit, which I think could make things harder than they should be for people who are self-employed. For example, the PAYE real-time information system that the government is introducing looks as though it is going to require, if people want to apply for universal credit, monthly returns of total income and outgoings, which is quite a heavy bureaucratic imposition. So I welcome the support that's being provided. I think there probably is more that can be done. I don't think it's right for everybody. I think sometimes people are pushed towards self-employment when it isn't really the right thing for them to do. There's some evidence of that having happened in the government's work programme. But in principle, it is, for many people, I think, a good way to go and does prove an effective way to do well and certainly to stay in the labour market.
What are your views on the working late research in general?
I think the issues you've raised are very telling issues, as more and more people do want to work not just up to 65 but beyond that, and the system, including job centres, including skills support, including further education colleges and the various mechanisms that we have in place, all of those are going to need to be able to support people much later in their working life than tended to be assumed in the past. I welcome the way that you're highlighting these very important issues, and I hope that policymakers like me will learn and perhaps be inspired by what you've found to make some changes that can help in the future.